Hi my little gods and goddesses, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexxx and today we're going to be talking about Dracula by Bram Stoker. Hopefully this music is not too loud. But yeah, I was just looking up some details about this book because it's really old. I mean, it was written or published, in 1897. That's crazy, right? 1897. I mean, for the times that it was written, I think Bram Stoker had a lot of guts. And of course, just like before, I like to look at the writer's astrology, and this time I was able to find his whole chart, his birth chart. I'm not 100% sure how authentic it is because, like, how did they get his birth certificate? I guess that's public. I don't know. But he is a sun and moon in Scorpio, which is awesome. I think Scorpios are always drawn to like the darker, more like esoteric things in life. I have my moon in Scorpio in Western astrology, so I totally relate to that, and I think it's great that he has his moon in Scorpio. He also has his sun in Scorpio. But yeah, I think that's great. So yeah, for the time that this was written, I think it was a shocking thing. Even though for me, when I read it after I finished listening to the whole audiobook, because I don't have the physical copy, I thought it was pretty tame. And then afterwards, I liked the book a lot though. I think his writing was great. I think it was very easy to follow, even though it was from the 1800s. Because I tried reading Wuthering Heights and I just had to put it down because it is so it's almost like another language. The English is so old and outdated. But I will try to get back to that one. I just thought I was just not ready for it. But people praised that book so much that I had to order it on eBay. So yeah, this one though, Bram Stoker does such a great job of explaining and communicating and creating this lore for vampires that has at the time had not been done before. Because I've also been watching a lot of documentaries about vampires and how they came to be, you know, in the ancient or older times before there was electricity and roads. So yeah, before, the lore of the vampire was very much like known to be like an animalistic type of creature, like these hairy beast-like creatures. And Bram Stoker really like humanized this vampire in his book, and he gave them, you know, the coffin and the lore of needing to sleep in the soil, in their soil where they're from. And he's from Ireland, so he is Irish, I guess, maybe, I think, because he's from Ireland. But yeah, he was born in Ireland. And yeah, I think the book takes place in a similar, I think the book takes place in Ireland, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But people, writers tend to stick to what they know. They like, for example, what's her name? Anne Rice, r.i.p. Also Bram Stoker, r.i.p. obviously. She wrote a lot about New Orleans, which is where she was living at. I'm not sure if she was born there, but anyway, I'm totally getting off topic from the story from the book. I will not be going into any spoilers for this Dracula novel. I know it's a very old novel, but not everybody has read it because it's very old, and a lot of people might think that it's going to be outdated or hard to read, but it's not. It's great. I really recommend it. I would give this a out of 5 stars. I think I would give it a 3.5, because for me it was kind of tame and I wanted more. I wanted it to be longer, and I wanted more blood. I wanted more like vampire. I wanted more vampire. This is the same issue that I had when I read Stephen King's vampire book. What's it called? I can't remember the name, but I listened to the audiobook of Stephen King as well. Let me see, I have it in my Salem slot. I needed more vampire for that book as well, and I have not done a review for Salem slot, but we're gonna talk about Dracula first because it came out first. And Dracula is not the first vampire book that I read. Obviously, I've read Anne Rice. I've read Stephanie Meyer's. I hope I'm not butchering her name. In high school, I love the Twilight series. I don't like people giving it any hate. I still have the books that I bought in high school. I have all her hardcover books. I think there's 3 of them, right? They're in my storage right now, but along with a lot of other books that I have. I have a lot of books in storage till I move, and I'll be able to get them all out of there and put them in my library and like look them over and hopefully maybe reread some of them. And I have so many others that I still need to read from scratch. But yeah, I love vampires. I've always liked vampires since I was a teenager, so I really like this take on vampires from Bram Stoker. They are a little scary and creepy, but they're also so mysterious that's why I keep saying that I wanted more. So in the book, a man comes and he's giving him paperwork because Dracula wants to move. Yeah, he's moving to a different country or something to have more humans to drink from, and he has wives in this book, but we don't really get that many scenes with them. Maybe 1 or 2 that I can recall from the book, because I also watched the movie, the old movie, the black and white Dracula movie, and they changed some stuff in there which I actually liked. I typically do not like when the book is transitioned into like TV or film and then they change a bunch of stuff, like with this guy who comes in the book and he brings him all the paperwork. He actually lives in the book, and I was surprised that he lives and he gets away and he gets to like fight. I guess that's a spoiler. He gets to like go against Dracula because they let him live, which I was surprised. I didn't think he was gonna make it. In the movie, the black and white movie, it's free on YouTube if you want to watch it. If you haven't, it's really short. It's like about an hour or so. In the movie, they changed that. They make him the crazy lunatic that is also a character in the book, which makes more sense to me, because I thought, like, after witnessing like all of this myths turning into vampires and the wives of Dracula like trying to drink from him and laughing crazily in the book, I really thought he would have lost his mind. So when they did that to him in the movie, I really thought it made sense, and I liked it. I liked it. In the book, I really liked the lunatic. He's in an asylum or something like that, and I think he's one of the most interesting characters in the book. Besides Dracula, of course, the crazy guy. He's influenced by Dracula in the book, and yeah, he doesn't have a nice ending. But like I said, I really like how they changed it in the movie, so that the guy who survives meeting Dracula at the beginning of this story, he ends up being a lunatic, which is also a character. But they make him into like one instead of 2 separate characters, which was very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, I highly recommend this book. Like I said, it's a very short story. I think I finished it in like 2 days, maybe 3. Maybe 3 days, because I have other stuff to do. But you could probably finish it in like 1.5 days or a whole day if you don't sleep and you don't do anything else. You could probably finish. Like I said, it's very tame, so I think anybody could read this book, even young adults. I think it would be fine. There's nothing sexual about it that I can remember. Even when Dracula feeds, it's not like vulgar. It's super. It was written in the 1800s, so yeah, you know, he kept it in check. I think he had to, even though he probably wanted to go darker, I feel like, because of his sun and moon being in Scorpio. I think he would have definitely thrived in our new age of the 2000s, or we're going into 2025 2025 already. I feel like it's almost 2025. It's crazy. But yeah, I recommend this book if you like vampires. It's very interesting. It's a different take on vampires. It's more grounded. I feel like he made it realistic, even though others might disagree because of the mist and the shape-shifting into bats and stuff like that. I think it was very like realistic to me. Like I could believe it. Since we are like starting to believe in shapeshifters and stuff like that in now in 2024, and people are like seeing things that are probably walking among us that are different than us. So yeah, I don't think it was that far-fetched at all. I think there's a reason why this book is like a classic. I think he just did it very well. He did it very well. Yeah, I just thought for me it was a bit too tame, too clean. Obviously the good guys win, which is nice, but I kind of wanted Dracula to win. I kind of wanted him to get away and win, and like just get away and like never be found, and you know. But that's just me. I don't know. I usually don't like dark endings. I typically would not like that type of ending, but with this one I kind of wanted it and I didn't get it, which is fine. It was a happy ending. I think it was a good ending. It was a pretty happy ending. I just was not expecting it in a Dracula novel, because it's such a like I said, it's such a well-known story. It's such a classic. Dracula, the name, I mean, what's his name? Van Helsing. I hope I'm not mispronouncing. I think we've even had movies of Van Helsing, which is a character who takes down Dracula. He's like a scientist or doctor. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not that well at remembering details, especially since I finished this book like last week, and I should have done this sooner, but I've been having some personal life issues, so I hope you appreciate this little video. I'm going to continue reading and listening to novels. I'm currently reading the first book by George R.R. Martin called A Game of Thrones, I believe. I'm looking at it. A Game of Thrones. I'm still reading that very slowly on my my downtime, and I'm also listening to another audiobook by Stephen King, one of my favorites, and this is called Different Seasons. And yeah, it's a pretty short one, but I think I'll be reviewing both of these stories once I'm done. I think the audiobook will be first. I should probably do Salem's Lot first, actually. Dang it. I should have done that one sooner, because I already finished it like last month or something. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you're reading, if you are reading anything or listening to an audiobook, because I know that things are kind of hectic right now and we have a lot going on, but we have to take some downtime to relax. I love audiobooks because I could just do it while laying down. I could do it while I'm cooking. I could listen to it whenever. It's so like, it's kind of like texting where you could multitask while listening to an audiobook, which is great. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop dabbling and I will see you in the next video if you choose to subscribe. Bye.